Hey guys, Kaiju here. Yep, we're back to this setup again. The echo will probably annoy some of you guys, but I'm sorry, I really can't do much about it. Of course, today we're going to be doing a Kaiju review, and that Kaiju review is on one of my more recent figures, if you saw the new collection update video. EX Gomora. I'm probably going to have to put him at this angle and not frontward facing because of the fact that he has an absolutely massive tail, but just as kind of like a starter opinion, I love this guy. He's one of my new favorite figures, and I can definitely see why everybody likes him so much. But of course, let's get into the actual review, and I'll tell you why I like him so much. Of course, starting off with detail. Now, if you're able to see, EX Gomora is probably one of the more nicely detailed figures I have. Detail on this guy is just absolutely fantastic. That's the only words I can think to put out there for EX Gomora. His face, his chest, his arms, his legs, his back, especially his back, and even his tail are all incredibly nicely detailed. I do not think I can name a single thing on this figure that I think could have been done better. Everything on EX Gomora is just great. And not only that, but the paint, too, is also really incredible. The paint on him is kind of withered, I'd say. I'm not sure if that'd be the right word for it, but that's what it looks like to me, at least. Like, on the back here, it's done to almost look like metal, like the paint on his back and tail is. If I did have to complain about one thing in detail, though, as I mentioned before, EX Gomora's figure has a massive tail. And this is accurate to the show. EX Gomora did have a very massive tail. However, if I were Bandai at least, I would have probably made this tail a little bit curved upward, because this just takes up a lot of collection space. This guy is definitely going to take up quite a lot of room on my shelf. So, for me at least, I would have liked if they maybe shortened the tail down a little bit or raised it up a little bit. That's just me at least, though. So overall, detail on EX Gomora is incredible. The tail is a bit annoying, but everything else is done spot on. Now, of course, let's go into articulation. EX Gomora has quite a bit of articulation too. His head can rotate, of course. His arms can rotate, and his legs can rotate. 5 points, which is pretty servable for a figure. I'm usually used to 6 points when it comes to Gomoras, as Rhyonic Burst Gomora and normal Gomora all have 6 points, but it doesn't really matter on this figure. I think 5 points is servable. Now, of course, let's go into sizing. First, I'll compare him to the original Gomora. And as you can see, the original Gomora is a bit taller than him. However, it doesn't really matter that much. I think that they're okay enough heights. I guess if you really want to be specific, he could be like this tall, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter that much. Now we'll compare him to the other form of Gomora that I have, Rhyonic Burst Gomora. And these guys are actually about the same height. The neck on Rhyonic Burst Gomora is a bit taller, but head-wise at least, they're the same height. And yeah, these guys look good next to each other, I think. And since this is the only other Bandai figure I have on me, we'll compare him to Neosaurus as well. And if you saw my collection video, you already know how big these guys are next to each other. But in case you didn't for some reason, and because of the fact, again, this is the only other Bandai figure I have on me, we'll just compare them like this. And I'm not sure how tall a Neosaurus is, but these guys look good next to each other, at least. So yeah, that is my review of EX Gomora. Definitely one of the best figures I think that I've ever reviewed. This guy has incredible detail, decent enough articulation, and pretty good sizing. It's a very good figure and definitely one that I recommend if you don't have already, definitely get. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.